Dear students, in this video we are going to discuss about the characteristics of the cancer cells, and this is the second video on the topic of oncogenesis. So all of you know that the conversion of normal cells into cancer cell is called as cell transformation, and the transformed cells have the same characteristics as the cancer cells. The transformed cell lines are used to improve our understanding of the cancer cells. The cancer cells can arise virtually in any of the body tissues, and each type of cancer has its unique features. We are discussing here the common characteristics of the cancer cells. So the first important characteristic of cancer cells is infinite growth or the property of immortality. The cancer cells are said to be immortal, and an immortalization is a process in which cancer cells undergo indefinite number of cell divisions. Most normal cells undergo fixed number of cell divisions before they die. That means they divide for about 50 times. And this process is called as replicative senescence. The replicative senescence may be due to the ability of normal cells to stop the synthesis of enzyme telomerase. The cancer cells undergo indefinite number of cell divisions. That means cancer cells become immortal. They divide and redivide until the nutrients and growth factors are available. This uncontrolled proliferation is due to the activation of an enzyme telomerase. That means in the normal cells there is a mechanism of replicative senescence, and this is due to the inability of normal cells to synthesize an important enzyme telomerase. But in case of cancer cells, there is an activation of the gene responsible for synthesis of an enzyme telomerase, and because of this enzyme there is uncontrolled proliferation of the cancer cells. The next property of cancer cells is of metastasis. Metastasis is nothing but the spread of cancer cells from their original site to other sites of the body. That means some cancer cells detach from their original tumor site and travel through the blood or lymph to a new site in the body and form the new tumors. However, the normal cells do not exhibit the property of metastasis. So you can see here in this image, if there is origin of a cancer in the intestine, the cancer cells may move towards the liver or towards the lungs through either lymph or through the blood vessels. And this property of cancer cells is called as metastasis. That means they spread from their original site to the other sites of the body, and this takes place through blood or through the lymph. The next property is invasiveness. The ability of tumor cells to invade the surrounding cells is called as invasiveness. Now you know that the benign tumors are surrounded by a membranous barrier that is called as lamina. The benign tumors and normal cells cannot penetrate the lamina, and therefore they cannot attack and damage the neighboring tissues and organs. However, the malignant cancer cells are able to enter lamina and destroy the neighboring tissues, and this phenomenon is called as the invasiveness. So you can see here in this image, the cancer cells are breaking the barrier of the lamina and they are invading into the surrounding tissues, and this property is called as invasiveness. One more property of cancer cells is the loss of contact inhibition. The normal cells stop dividing when they contact with each other, and this phenomenon is known as contact inhibition. Therefore, the normal cells grow in a single layer at the surface of the liquid culture medium in the Petri plate or in the flask. However, the cancer cells divide continuously and produce a mass of cells that is called as a tumor. Thus, there is no contact inhibition in cancer cells. That means contact inhibition enables the normal cells or non-cancerous cells to cease the proliferation and growth when they contact with each other. And this characteristic is lost when cells undergo malignant transformation, and that leads to uncontrolled proliferation and solid tumor formation. So you can see here in this image, this is the growth of the normal cells. That means the growth is in the form of a monolayer. But when the cells they become cancerous, the uncontrolled proliferation is taking place, and this is because of the loss of contact inhibition. So the normal cells they show the property of the contact inhibition, and therefore they grow in the form of a monolayer. However, the cancer cells they show the loss of contact inhibition property, and therefore they grow in the form of the multilayers. So this is the monolayered growth of the normal cells, while this is the multilayered growth of the cancer cells. The next property of cancer cells is loss of anchorage dependence. The normal cells show the property of anchorage dependent growth. That is, they anchor or attach to the rigid substratum and grow. Therefore, the normal cells are unable to grow properly in liquid or in semi-solid media. However, if suitable surface for attachment is present, they attach to the surface and grow. The tumor cells exhibit anchorage independent growth. They do not require rigid substratum for their growth. They are able to grow in liquid or on semi-solid media. So you can see here in this image, this is the growth of normal cells and this is the growth of the cancer cells. The normal cells they attach to the surface and grow in the form of a monolayer. However, the cancer cells lose their anchorage dependence and they travel or grow throughout the medium. The next property of cancer cells is the reduced serum requirement. The normal cells require high concentration of serum in the media that are used for their cultivation. The serum provides the complex factors such as insulin and other hormones and growth factors that are required for the growth of the cells. However, the transformed cells require low concentrations of the serum in the growth medium. Some transformed cells produce their own growth factors and may grow even in the absence of the serum. One more important property of the cancer cells is growth factor independence. For the cell division of normal cells, the activation of an enzyme cyclin kinase is required, and this activated cyclin kinase stimulates the cell division. But for the activation of cyclin kinase, growth factors are required. Usually, the damaged tissues release the growth factors and activate the cyclin kinase complex and thereby replace the damaged tissues. However, in cancer cells, the activation of cyclin kinase do not require the growth factors and therefore the uncontrolled cell division takes place. That means the cancer cells are not dependent on the growth factors. The next property of cancer cells is loss of cell differentiation. The cell differentiation is a process of cell maturation in which cells mature to perform the specific functions. For example, newly differentiated muscle cell looks and functions like other muscle cells. The tumor cells grow and divide rapidly, and as the tumor progresses, the cells tend to become less differentiated. Such less differentiated cells have abnormal appearance with respect to their size, shape, external and internal characteristics. That is, they are immature. And these immature cells do not perform their specific functions. So you can see here in this image, in the process of normal cell differentiation, there is formation of the mature cells. And these mature cells, they perform their specific functions. However, in the cancer cells, there is a loss of cell differentiation and therefore such mature cells are not formed. And these immature cells, they do not perform their normal functions. The next characteristic of cancer cells is the inhibition of apoptosis. So the apoptosis is a process of deliberate suicide by unwanted cells of the body, or it is a programmed cell death. And this process removes the cells that are not required for the survival of an animal. Usually, when the normal cells are damaged beyond the limit of their repair, or if they are infected with a virus, they are subjected to the apoptosis. And when the apoptosis is inhibited, the damaged cells divide continuously and develop the cancer. In addition to this, the cancer cells contain a protein that is called as survivin, which inhibits the process of apoptosis. That means the normal cells are subjected to the apoptosis while the cancer cells are not subjected to the process of apoptosis. One more characteristic of cancer cells is the property of angiogenesis. So, angiogenesis is the process of formation of new blood vessels from the pre-existing vessels, and this is a normal process in the growth and development as well as during the wound healing. The cancer cells are dividing and growing rapidly, and they need increased supply of blood for the food and oxygen. And therefore, the cancer cells induce the growth of new blood vessels by secreting the growth factors. The growth factors induce the capillary growth into the cancer cells and nourish the cancer cells. The next important character of cancer cells is changes in cytoskeleton. The normal cells have a typical cytoskeleton that is consisting of microtubules and microfilaments. However, the cancer cells have reduced cytoskeleton. That means there is disappearance of some microtubules and microfilaments, and therefore the cell adhesion or the attachment of cell to the extracellular surfaces is reduced. One more character of the cancer cells is changes in cell morphology and cytology. The cancer cells show disorganized cell arrangement. That means they have abnormal size and shape. The cells tend to become round and show small volume of cytoplasm relative to the nucleus. Sometimes the nucleus becomes large and variable in shape. Thus, the cancer cells show the loss of normal cell features. One more feature of cancer cells is increased production of lytic enzymes. The tumor cells or cancer cells produce a variety of lytic enzymes that degrade extracellular matrix and allow the tumor cells to invade tissues, lymphatic channels, and blood vessels. And the most common lytic enzymes are variety of proteases, glycosidases, and the collagenases. So the proteases are the enzymes which are acting on the surrounding proteins. Glycosidases are the enzymes which are acting on the polysaccharides, and collagenases are the enzymes which are acting on the collagen material. One more feature that is shown by the cancer cells is alteration in the genetic properties, that is genetic alteration. The cancer cells show a number of alterations in the nucleus, nucleolus, chromosomes, and genes. The nucleolus of cancer cells may be pleomorphic. It synthesizes more RNA. There may be a large nucleus with small amount of the cytoplasm. There is also a loss of mitosis regulation. They may have an abnormal number of chromosomes, and the chromosomes have an abnormal structure due to the translocations, deletions, duplications, and inversions. One more property of cancer cells is induction of neoplasm in an experimental animals. That means the tumor cells, they have ability to induce the new tumors in an appropriate experimental animals. That means if you transfer cancer cells into the experimental animals, there is the development of the tumors in an experimental animal. One more property is altered signal transduction mechanism. The cancer cells show altered cell-to-cell signal transduction mechanism. The next characteristic is an alteration in electric charge. The cancer cells show increase in negative charge on their surface, and therefore they move towards anode in microelectrophoresis. That means in an electrophoretic unit, the movement of cancer cells is towards the anode because of the increased negative charge on their surfaces. In addition to this, the cancer cells, they have ability to avoid the host body's anti-tumor immune response, and therefore they produce the mass of the cells. That means the cancer cells or tumor cells, they break the host body's immune response mechanism. One more important property that is shown by the cancer cells is the alterations in cell membrane structure and function. The number of alterations in the structure and functions of the cell membrane are occurring. We will discuss each of those alterations in somewhat detail. So the first kind of alteration related with the cell membrane is changes in composition of cell surface glycoproteins, proteoglycans, glycolipids and mucins. The tumor cells show a variety of chemical changes in the glycolipids and glycoproteins. There is occurrence of fucose containing glycolipids and highly glycosylated glycoproteins. Also, there is increased secretion of mucins by the cancer cells. And alteration also occurs in the number and types of proteoglycans. The second alteration in relation to the cell membrane structure and function is the appearance of tumor associated antigens. The tumor cells show the presence of neoantigens. These neoantigens are of two types. One is oncofetal antigens and second one is tumor associated transplantation antigens, that is TATA. The oncofetal antigens are the antigens that usually appear on the normal cells during early or fetal life. And these antigens disappear from the normal cells during the later life. However, the oncofetal antigens reappear on the tumor cells or on the cancer cells. The next kind of alteration in the cell membrane is increased agglutinability by the plant lectins. Actually, the lectins are the plant or animal cell proteins which resemble with the polyvalent antibody molecules. They attach to the normal cell surfaces and cause their agglutination. The cancer cells are more easily agglutinated by the lectins than the normal cells, and this is due to the modification in cell surface properties. That means the cancer cells are easily agglutinated by the plant lectins than the normal cells. One more alteration related to the cell membrane is increased uptake of amino acids, hexoses and nucleosides. The cancer cells are constantly growing and dividing. Therefore, they require more precursors of proteins, carbohydrates and nucleic acids along with the source of energy. Due to these requirements, there is increase in the uptake of amino acids, hexoses and nucleosides across the membrane. One more change related to the cell membrane is changes in an extracellular matrix components. The cancer cells show a number of modifications in the extracellular matrix components such as collagen, proteoglycan and glycoproteins. And the last alteration related to the cell membrane is altered cell-to-cell adhesion property. In normal tissues, there is a typical cell-to-cell adhesion because of the presence of glycoproteins, that is called as integrins. However, in cancer cells, there is disruption in cell-to-cell adhesion, and this leads to increased metastasis and invasion. So these are the different characteristics or properties of the cancer cells. So thank you for your kind listening. Thank you.